What's going on, guys? It's Matt Marinoff, Real Estate Recovery Group. As always, my co-host is Lee M. Perlman, ESQ. And tonight we have Matt Montini from Verizon. And I'm really excited to have Matt on tonight. I met Matt a couple of months ago. Actually met him through a friend of mine, a coworker that used to work with him. And just we're gonna rock and roll a little bit here tonight. So we're running late. Had a couple of setbacks, nothing crazy, but we'll be right back after this message. Okay, guys, it's no secret. I love bringing product knowledge to the general public and everybody who's watching the Live with Matt Marinoff show. So this week we've got Matt Montini stopping by, and this gentleman is a Verizon Wireless corporate rep. And I got to tell you, there's a big difference between dealing with the local stores and having that special touch with the corporate environment. So stay tuned. Let's go.
Hey guys, Matt Montini here with the Verizon Small Business Group. I love being a trusted advisor for my small businesses because I can provide the technologies that will lead them to be successful in a post-COVID world. I'm excited to go on Live with Matt to showcase Verizon's products and services.
Are we back? Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, loud and clear.
Cool. You guys can hear me good?
Sounds
You
good.
can hear me, but I'm freezing up.
A little bit, but you're okay.
All right, cool. Well, this is
Still
round
look
two,
great
and
over
I'm
there, Matt.
I appreciate that. So, Matt Montini from Verizon Wireless. Matt, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself and why I thought it was important for you to come on the show?
Yeah, so I mean, you teed it up perfectly before. We met a few months back through a mutual, client of ours, and I mean, listen, we've been talking throughout. I was able to jump in, help your business. We brought you over to Verizon, which is a great news story. Got you set up, through some of our products that we have, line your business up in a good shape. And then, I met so many connections just from our constant discussions, right? So it really was a great kind of, two-way networking piece. And I'm just happy to be on the show tonight and happy to, to reach out to your following and, and spread the message a little bit more. So thanks for having me on. Hey, where was that cornfield, by the way? I mean, that was pretty intense where you're running through.
I was running away from my old cell phone carrier when they realized I was switching over to Verizon.
That's it.
I can't really say.
You guys. Hey, I made Matt do that, but if anybody else, wants to speak business with me, I won't have you run through the cornfield. I promise.
That never gets old. Him running through that cornfield.
You really want to know the story behind that? Or no?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
So that's actually from 2 years ago. That's from when we were doing I don't know, something, the pumpkin rides or whatever it was. And I told my wife, I said, listen, I'm gonna run through the field, and I want you to get me coming out of the field, running out of the field, and then just videotape it. And she goes, you're absolutely insane. I said, but you'll do it? And she goes, I don't have a choice. So yeah, of course I'll do it. And that was it. And that's how it was, me running out of the cornfield. So that's the story. So Matt,
don't say that too loud. My girlfriend might hear. I might be running through cornfields tomorrow, Matt. Keep that down low.
you got to do what you got to do. So Matt, let's get into it because we got a little bit of a late start. So I apologize everybody for the late start. But Matt, so when we first connected and we first spoke, I was kind of like, you guys are all the same. But I still had, like, I didn't have a personal plan. I had a corporate plan, but my corporate plan was garbage. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not gonna say who it was, but two massive people were merged together. I lost my account rep, and they said, "Hey, no problem." I got 11 lines. I don't know how many I have now, but I had 11 lines at the time, and they're like, "Well, we've got good news. If you bump it up and you have 25 lines, we can reassign account rep." And I'm like, "What? Like, that's ridiculous." I actually threw on Facebook. I'm looking, who am I talking to? Who can help me? What can happen? And then you and I started speaking, and then I guess kind of like break it down a little bit. What is the difference between Verizon, what you guys offer, and how you can help people, or maybe navigate them through maybe the current plans that they have right now?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And listen, when I look at your situation, and back up a little bit, so we're going up, 4 years or so. The channel I work in has been around, the small and medium business channel, and the reason that we were adopted as a new channel in Verizon was for the exact reason you laid out. We saw so many small and medium businesses, and small and medium businesses, by the way, make up 50% of the workforce. So it's massive. There's so much out there, right? And we saw so many of those small and medium businesses were either dealing strictly with the store, didn't have a business representative, unless they got to that 25 plus, employee count or line count, right? And if you don't need it, you don't need it. Why should a customer have to increase the amount of lines, hire new headcount just to get, personalized business rep? So, boom. Out of that comes the channel that I'm in, the small and medium businesses, where we really take care of that sweet spot, like you're saying, 11 lines, 1 to 9, 1 to 25 employees. That sweet spot is what we absolutely handle. And to your point, right, you couldn't find your business rep. You had an old plan. It wasn't working out for you. You're paying too much. New plans probably came out 3 years ago, but nobody called you to tell you about it. So, what my channel does specifically is handle those small and medium business accounts. We do quarterly business reviews. If you're one of our clients, we meet and we sit down with you scheduled on the calendar every single quarter, and we take a look at your bill, right? And you mentioned the other guys out there. There's a lot of, competition, right? With plans, with service, right? So Verizon as a company, we've changed our pricing model several times over the last couple of years, to stay in line with the current landscape. So there's so many small and medium business customers out there that are on old plans, on plans that aren't fitting their business. Maybe they're too expensive. Maybe they don't have the right data caps that we need to work in a virtual or hybrid model, right? So that's what myself and my team specifically handle. And we really take that white glove service, with your small and medium businesses. The big guys, they've always had business account managers, and those guys are great. I work very closely with them on a day-to-day basis, but we really wanted to focus on that small and medium space, such as yourself.
So I have to interrupt. So for me, I was really happy with my company. I had no issues, like clockwork, 30, 45 days. He always reached out to me. What's going on? How are you? How's the family? And I know he has notes in the computer and all stuff like that, but we actually became friendly. And then all of a sudden, it's like one day, it's gone. I'm like, oh my God. And then my wife is like, oh my God. She's like, did you hear that blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah are merging? And I'm like, wait a second. I said, I can't get a hold of my guy. And that was it. So for months, I was floundering around. My plans were expiring. I was due for upgrades on phones. They're offering me garbage. And then I just went out there and said, hey, I need help. And then I didn't want to deal with like the local stores. No disrespect, but you don't get the same level of respect. And they don't care if you got 1 or 20 lines. They're not dealing in the corporate mindset. So then I got introduced to you, and that was it. And the rest is history. And you literally saved me. I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, you literally saved me roughly around $300 a month on my phone bill. That's a lot of money when you're spending that type of money and you're expecting quality service. And I got to tell you, ever since we switched over, no issues. Service is great. Customer service is great. If there's an issue, they're very apologetic. they'll get somebody back to you, which they never had before, and people actually call you back. So, I'm excited to be with you.
Yeah, and thank you for that. And you touched on another part of it, which is the store channel, and a big part of my business is working closely with our corporate doors, right? And since this channel started, the channel that I work in, the small and medium businesses, we do our store visits, we talk to the general managers, and we talk to the field about what to expect from our small and medium businesses. How that relationship should look, right? The handoff process. So, to take it that step further, like you were saying, you were dealing with some of the stores in the past, maybe wasn't the best experience for the small and medium businesses. We've been able to go out and really assist in that store partnership. So that experience, with your small and medium business rep is obviously good. You can call, he or she, whenever, to call, make changes. But Matt, we were talking a couple of days ago. I know, you had to go into the store for one of the things. I was able to give a call to the general manager there and say, hey, this is Matt. He's going to be in a little bit. This is what we need to do. Give them a heads up. And then you still have that white glove experience, for that face-to-face store interaction.
I got to tell you, it was actually really good because I walked in there. I said, my corporate rep told me to come in here to look at the computer. He called over the manager of the store. The manager of the store came over. There was a line. I didn't have to wait. And they took care of me, and I could have probably been out of there in under 15 minutes, but I like to schmooze. So it was more like 30 minutes, but it worked. And that's why, like, in these times, if you got a business and you want the service, you need it, it's got to be quick. And you can't wait around stores. Listen, I used to wait around in the store to get my phone swapped out hour and a half later. I don't know times like that. I was literally in and out, and I dropped off 6 phones, and I was in and out for 15 minutes. They had all my information because you gave it to them. So
it sounds like if you're in business, you're filling this spot that's definitely where there's a void. I mean, you have an individual, regular, consumer customer, and then you have a large business, and then you're filling this void in between, and saving people money, which is what people really need right now in this business and climate. Everybody is counting every single bill. I know in our office right now, we're looking at every line item in our firm. Yeah.
And
now
that was,
but you could do any state. It doesn't have to be just Jersey. You have the reach to pull anywhere, correct?
Well, I have connections coast to coast. My specific territory is Jersey.
Okay.
Just for territory wise, right? I'd be very stretched thin if I went coast to coast. But we have connections all over the place. The small and medium business channel is coast to coast. So I have peers in California. I have peers in Texas. I have peers in Michigan that do the exact same thing that I do.
So Matt, in terms of talking about referral business, because this is kind of a business show, and we have a lot of people in business, and they're interested in referrals, and they're interested in their own business, right? Talk to us a little bit about what those contracts look like. So if there are people who want to switch, how difficult is it to get out of an existing business contract? Should they, is it still appropriate for them to call you? Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, of course. And that was a similar situation to what Matt had when he came over. He was looking at it. Hey, just don't know what it's going to look like to switch over. Am I going to lose an arm if I come over here? And we want to make sure that doesn't happen, right? From what I've seen, and listen, promotions change all the time, and there's a lot of different moving pieces to it. But for the most part, with any given promo, if you come over with phone that you have, from another carrier, most of the time we have bill incentive credits, we have trade-in credits, we have month-to-month new customer credits, right, that we can offer. So there's a lot of ways that we can get creative. Listen, if you just signed a brand new device contract with your carrier and you owe $1,200 to them, I'm gonna have to make some calls. It's gonna be a little bit tougher, but as long as it's not a brand new device contract, there's a lot of ways that we can help customers make that switch and make it painless. So I never want that to be the deterrent, to leaving carrier they're unhappy with, paying too much. because, especially, as a manager, I try and pull every string I can and just help, wherever I can from a budget standpoint to make it work for the individual customer.
All right, so how did you pivot, or how did business change during COVID-19? Because we're still in it. People are still a little leery of it. It was funny. I went to a restaurant to pick up food the other night, and the lady's like, "Can I have your card?" She put a plastic glove on. She ran through the machine. She dropped it in a plastic container, and then she handed me the class. She pushed the plastic container across the counter, and all I kept thinking to myself is, "Lady, you only got half your mouth covered. She didn't even have her nose covered. She had her mouth covered. And you're worried about my hand touching your hand with COVID? Whatever." So how has COVID-19 actually affected your business?
Whew. It's it's been fun to kind of reflect, and I'll bring you back, from the beginning, right? Sales and you guys are in a very similar business, right? So much of it's that face-to-face customer interaction and that handshake and that just having some personality and speaking through it. So when we first realized that we were not going to be doing face-to-face meetings anymore, we really weren't going to be in store to support the stores anymore. It was definitely an eye opener on how we're going to pivot, to the next round, right? One of the things that really helped us as Verizon is we acquired a company called Blue Jeans, right? And they were an up and coming video conferencing company, and that kind of set the tone, for where we were going to go, because, we saw, there's a bunch of other companies out there, and we, support many of them as well. But the Blue Jeans platform, Dolby sound, active noise cancellation, and they're working on it, improving every single day. We were able to turn so much of our business over to that virtual meeting, right? And listen, it evolved at the beginning. Did we nail it every single time? Probably not. But as we got into it, and just had those clean conversations, had solid agendas for our customers, and we're able to go through the bill virtually and work through different things. We got really good at that. And now that we're heading back to customer appointments, heading back to stores, that just becomes another layer, of how we can connect with our customers, which is great. So that was number one. Number two, and you hit on it earlier, Matt. A big part of what we did when COVID-19 hit was we were the support system. Lee mentioned it earlier. We had a lot of conversations with, especially in our space, of, "Hey, Matt, I love Verizon. I'd love to, talk to you about my landscape and what our future plans are, but I just don't know right now. I'm struggling to keep the doors open. I want to make sure I hit payroll." Right. And Verizon was really good about just making sure that the mantra and the talk track at that point was, we are reaching out to see how we can help, whether that be calling financial services for a customer, working on, seeing what we could do bill wise, seeing if they were on an old plan and we can switch them over and help our customers. So the first 6-8 months were really just calling our base, calling our local small and medium businesses and saying, "Hey, I know it's not the best of times, but how are things working out? How can we help you guys? What can we do for you?" And that really set the precedent moving forward too, because now we reach out to those guys, as they're starting to rebound, as people are starting to get vaccinated, we're back at work, and it comes right back around. Now it's, "Hey, Matt, I can talk to you about my upcoming projects. I can give you that timeline for, that new technology rollout that I needed to do 6 months ago." So that became a really big part of it. And then, we pivoted one more time. And I know, Matt, you and I were talking about it, for your business as well. Besides the Blue Jeans, we have a service called our One Talk, which is our voice over IP system, right? So think about it as your desk phone system with a heck of a lot more features, right?
I didn't know you guys
voice
offered
over
that.
IP, desk phone system with a mobile app that you can have your phone number, mobile and on the go, and as you're moving around. So this whole idea of unified communications and be able to not have to be sitting in the office. You can be at home and still get those typical desk phone calls, right? You can be at the office. You can be out in the field, real estate, obviously Matt and you and I were talking, guys are out in the field a lot. You're not sitting in an office all day. So, we really had a good strategy on how to continue to be there for our businesses as their, productivity and their way of doing business started to shift day in, day out. So I know that was a lot, so I'll pause there, but that's kind of how we did it both internally as Verizon, and then what other solutions we talked about and we came up with to help our business customers not only through the time but as we're coming out now.
Hold on. Blue Jeans isn't? Oh, go ahead.
No. Hold on one sec. We'll be right back after this brief commercial.
His energy, you can tell he's real. There's no BS talk.
Listening to Matthew Marinoff for a good amount of time, like a light bulb went off. I was like, wait a minute, I've got to learn more about that short sale process.
Yeah. Yo, I think I'm gonna have to dump this service. This is ridiculous. You can't even see me moving. I look like Jabba the Hutt right now.
You look very focused.
I'm very focused right now. I look like I'm taking a poop. All right. So who would you right now? I guess right now there are just three main quote unquote competitors in the field. Do you really consider anybody in the business right now as a competitor based on what you guys are offering and what you're doing?
We're gonna have to see how it goes with the merger. Obviously that's gonna, listen, there's a lot of technology they acquired and a lot of good things that that they can do. But for me, and listen, I know I'm partial, but I really haven't had any customers come back to me and say, hey Matt, your service doesn't work here, your service doesn't work there. I know when a customer comes into Verizon, and they take a cell phone from me, they take a tablet from me, and they say, hey Matt, I'm going to test it, I'm going to see if it works on my job site, I'm going to see if it works in my home, and then I'll let you know about the rest of the deal. I'm so confident in that, and it's really nice to see a company that always kind of invests in the network, right? And we saw it with the 4G LTE rollout. We were the first to 4G, and that was fun, right? Because that took it from, hey, 3G, maybe you can stream some music, and then you can stream a little bit of video, to 4G, which is what we see now, and that helped Airbnb start. All these companies that are app based today and video based today, they took off from that. And then what did we do this round too? We dumped money back into the 5G network, right? And we're pushing, our 5G ultra wideband, which is going to be, you're going to get those gigabit speeds that you see at home on hardwired, solutions on your cell phone, and we have it in a bunch of our major cities already. So, to answer your question, I think once you start to continue to see 5G ultra wideband run out, and continue to expand, I don't even see there being competition. I know I'm a little partial, I do, but I think Verizon's always done a really good job of just investing back in the network, and that being the number one investment that they have, so they can provide that experience to help your business just crush their bottom line.
Matt, don't a lot of the physicians' offices use that Blue Jeans? I used that one time. It's a good product.
Yeah, and the reason that they do is it's HIPAA compliant. We look at it, and listen, there were some data breaches from the other guys, early on, and that was really scary. So physician wise, I've had personally some of my doctor's appointments over it. That HIPAA compliance is a very, very big selling point. When you're talking about just keeping your company's data and information safe.
Does Blue Jeans work very similar to this? Like, can you put templates up and do all this type of jazzy stuff or no?
Yep. Whiteboarding, annotation. They added emojis and reactions to it too.
Oh, they
So,
have. That's cool. I
yeah.
haven't used it in a couple months. Okay.
Yep, that's a new enhancement. And just like our One Talk system, the thing I love most about working for Verizon and some of the products that we have is we're always working on them, right? It's not a stagnant app, right? It's not a stagnant product where we put it out there. Hey, it's video chat, and we'll see you later, right? Every single day, I'm getting another email to my inbox saying, what enhancements we put out there. So always growing. I hope everybody gets a chance, and give me a call, shoot me an email if you'd like to take a look and hear a little bit more about that product. But I see Blue Jeans really taking off and continuing to be a big player in the game, especially with this hybrid and work from home, work from anywhere environment.
So if anybody wants to reach out to you, what is the best way to connect with you? Should they email you? Should they text you on your cell phone? What is the best form of reaching out to you?
Well, I mean, like you, Matt, I rarely turn off my cell phone or my email, so either way works. But if you need to get a hold of me directly, shoot me a text. I'll get back to you. We'll work, and see what we can do. So text me directly, email if that works for you. But my phone's always on my hip, and if you need me, shoot me that text, and we can go from there.
So read it on the text. It's the 570 number.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, guys, if you want to reach out to Matt Montini, you can reach him at it's 570-445-0596. Again, his direct number, text him, is 570-445-0596. When you reach out to him, just text in the comment, hey, I saw you at Mac's show, and he'll do something special for you. He's not going to send you like a selfie. You're not going to get a subscription like 7 days to his only fan page or whatever it is, but he'll do something for you. So what is this Verizon customer channel? What is that? Did we cover that already?
The Verizon consumer channel. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's definitely our store channel. So our corporate locations that we work hand in hand with, and again, it's just, they have a direct line to us. We have a direct line to them. I think the mantra over the past couple of years is just making sure, as Matt, demonstrated before, it's the same exact experience, whether you go through a small, medium business rep, you deal with myself, you deal with my team, or you walk into our stores, right? As far as the knowledge, as far as the white glove service, the plans, the promotions. So yeah, we're lockstep with those guys over in the Verizon Consumer Group that handle the store channel. Because we see a lot of our small and medium businesses, for quick things like yourself, you like to walk into the stores, and that's quite all right. We love supporting them and working with them, and we do that, seamlessly, in my opinion.
All right, listen, we're going to go to a brief commercial break, but when we come back, can you tell us maybe a fun fact about you? Is there anything you want to share with us?
I got a story lined up, man. No problem.
Awesome. We'll be right back, guys.
Hi there. I'm Lee Perlman. I'm a consumer bankruptcy attorney. I've been helping people get a financial fresh start since 1994. You can reach me at newjerseybankruptcy.com or 856-751-4224.
Well, I can absolutely tell you guys that next week I will not be using this service ever again, and I will be contacting the company. Matt, go ahead. Tell us the funny story, fun fact.
All right. So funny story here, and I had to think a little bit about this one when I got your email, Matt. So this is specific for some of our Jersey folks, but it's a nationwide show, so I'm sure it's gonna play globally here. But when I was 22 years old, a young Matt Montini over there. I was hanging out one night, down in Atlantic City. A couple of my buddies were out there, and this was a lot of you guys probably remember the show The Jersey Shore, right? Still on. They do the family reunion all the time. I think we're on the 20th season.
Yeah, I think they're it's the geriatric edition now. Go ahead.
So word on the street was, there were some contract disputes or whatever it was. So, they weren't sure those guys were going to, return for season 2, right? And season 1 was super popular. So, why they wouldn't return, I don't know. So I'm just hanging out. I'm minding my own business. And I get approached from somebody who I later realized was one of the casting directors for the show. And she says, hey, Maddie from Jersey, born and raised Northern New Jersey, right? Hey, Matt, you spend some summers down the shore? My family's place in Cape May. I'm there all the time. All right, come on, let's go. 12 o'clock tomorrow. You come back to this spot. You do your hair nice. You look the part, and you're going to try out for the Jersey Shore. So, 22-year-old me, I'm sweating now. How am I going to do my hair? I got to shave. And, I go over there, and there was a series of questions. I think it was, half hour, 45 minutes. Long story short, I'm here, so I didn't get the part. You guys, I don't think anybody saw me on TV, but that was my 15 seconds of fame over there. And I got to call MTV because I think I feel like that video is floating around somewhere, and I'm sure people will pay a lot of money to get their hands on it.
Great. Okay, story. Wait, hold on a sec. Wait. So you were with the production company of MTV?
Yeah. Yep.
No promises, but I actually know somebody that's over there. That would be funny as hell, man.
That's my friends would pay you, thousands of dollars for that tape too. So that's some valuable info over there, man.
Oh, now you're talking my language now. Blackmail, I love blackmail.
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, I guess, guys, if you're looking for a quality service, if you're looking to talk to somebody that's going to be truthful with you and that they're going to be able to actually go through every nook and cranny and actually see what's going to work and what's not going to work as far as your cell phone plan, give Matt a call. Worst case scenario, look, Matt, regardless whether we're going to do business or not, we were ultimately going to be friends anyway. We were joking around. So, you're definitely a down-to-earth person, and I appreciate your assistance. Obviously, we formed somewhat of a friendship, and I'm referring people to you because I believe in the quest and what you're offering as far as your service. So, to me, it's no brainer. So, guys, if you want to reach out to Matt Montini, he is the man. He is the corporate level of Verizon Cellular Services. He has a team that works underneath him. I asked him, anybody that I refer over, please deal with them direct because let me put it this way. If you're paying the ass, she's going to put it off on someone else. That's all I got to say. So definitely reach out to Matt Montini. You could reach him, directly on his cell phone, which is 570-445-0596, 750-445-0596. Matt, thank you so much for coming on the show this week. I really appreciate it.
It was awesome to talk to you, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt and Lee, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And like you said, the friendship goes both ways. You've been great.
Absolutely, brother.
And this guy's the man over here. Matt stole the show. So I appreciate it. And call me with whatever you guys need. Matthew Montini at Verizon Wireless as well. I'd love to help out any way I can.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you coming on. Guys, we will see you next Wednesday.